yes, I mean, it's one of the nation's favorite hobbies.
So before we dive into it and I get to know more about you, just give us a sort of overall broad brush picture of what Thrive is, its story, why it came about, what it does.
Thrive is the Gardening for Health charity, and the whole aim and goal for Thrive is to really to use therapeutic horticulture. Well, it's actually the long name, social and therapeutic horticulture, which is a little bit of a mouthful. And so it is really about all of those amazing therapeutic properties of gardening. Yes, I mean it's one of the nation's favorite hobbies, and there's probably a lot of people who would say, I love gardening. I like being out in the garden. It makes me feel good. But there's also masses of research that goes behind that, that it really does have these incredible therapeutic properties, whether that's mental health or physical health. And that's really where Thrive comes in, not only to have Thrive Gardens, which there's three of, where people can come and join a Thrive program, but to get the word out about therapeutic horticulture as a form of well-being for people. Because everyone will have different things that work for them and appeal for them, but actually therapeutic horticulture can benefit loads of people,
Yeah.
and also to train people up. So yeah, really, it's just wanting to use that amazing power of gardening.
So you
People's
hold a
farm.
database of information and research, you've got training programs, and then you've got spaces that people can use that are therapeutic gardens. And then
Yeah.
you do an information bit as well, don't you? Which is trying to outreach into people into their own homes. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because where we've got the three physical Thrive Gardens, one which is near Reading, one in Birmingham, one in Battersea Park. But obviously the potential is much wider than those.
Oh,
So that's why we have the training side. So we can try and have therapeutic horticulturists who will set up projects and run that all over the country.
yeah.
But for some people, then you might not need or want to go to a garden, but can use gardening for your own well-being at home. And that's kind of my part of it, which is giving that information. And there'll be lots of different situations. Maybe someone's got a new or an ongoing illness, which might need that they have to adapt what they do and want some information, or someone who's, considering starting out using gardening for the first time and doesn't know where to begin, or just giving a bit of encouragement and information about all the amazing different things that you can do. I think for some people, the traditional idea of gardening can be not off-putting, but not everyone has a traditional garden space or
Sure.
might have the knowledge. But also try and let people know that gardening is so much wider than, having tending flower beds and having that traditional gardening, that
Yeah.
you can garden if you've got a windowsill,
Yeah.
or if you've got a patio, or if you've got somewhere to put a house plant. So,
And
yeah,
also there's things like community gardens, like so not far from me,
yeah,
there's a walkway between an adventure playground and a road, and a local charity has taken that over, and they've planted over the years fruit trees, and they've now got a space for bees, and they've got a space for wildflowers that are at risk. They've got another space for beetles, and this is just in a walkway, and it's tended by them, but it's also they get local kids from local schools involved, and it's organized along those routes. So there's those types of opportunities as well, I think.
yeah, definitely. And if people are that way inclined, and allotments, if you can find
Yeah.
one and get yourself through a waiting list,
Yeah.
then
And
yeah,
also my local climbing wall does that as well. It's got an outside space where it's growing vegetables, it's growing fruit. It's just now putting in some spaces for bees and wasps in particular. Wasps get a bad name, I think. So I'm glad to see wasps being given a home by people because they're quite important as part
yeah,
of the ecosystem. And again, this thing seems to be happening. We're naturally doing it, but it's not accidental, I don't think, and neither is Thrive. There is a reason for this, isn't there, about the research that's been going on, and the need to curate that research, which I feel is a very important part of Thrive. Is there anything you can tell us about that? Is that available to people or?
Yeah, absolutely. So for our training team as well, then people can always ask and research. There's some that we have on our website. When people come like more of a professional capacity, we've got a whole therapeutic horticulture information center part of it, which has got a lot of research on there. So that's if you want a really deep dive. But there's also kind of nuggets that we share throughout the information service side of it as well.
Yeah,
And I think, as you say, it's a vast and growing amount of
yeah,
research behind it. And especially as I think people's lives get a bit more urban,
yeah,
then I think there's been a big reason. So we know that the access that people have to private garden spaces has gone down, or gardens have got
yeah,
smaller.
yeah,
So I think, having that research that shows sometimes, there's really surprising outcomes. Like there's things which have shown that just being able to look through the window and see something green can be better. If someone's recovering, then
yeah.
they can potentially recover faster just from seeing something green out the window, which is absolutely
It is
amazing.
quite, it is very powerful. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a whole branch of architecture now called biophilic architecture, which is looking at creating natural shapes in buildings, because even just a natural shape will affect that bit of our brain that feels positive about these things. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.